Hi everyone, it's Murky Dismal here, and I'm Larky. And today we're going to talk about, my hatred or why I hated Cast Light and Brightness. Now, everyone is going to say, oh, you hated it because you hated it. Well, that's not true. In Deke's Rainbow Bright, 9 between 84 YL to 9 between 86 YL, there was a back saga. And this happened to be when my mother came to Rainbow Land. And when I was younger, I was in love with Cast Light and Brightness. Used to draw things and drawing books. And I also, let's just say that I started to draw on the walls. When you're a walker or even a young kid and you see walls and there's nothing on them, you think, wow, this is open room for me to draw things on. And that's what I did. One day after we were done eating, after eating evening meal, I took my writing tools down and just started drawing. And it wasn't only that, I had to start drying things as well. My mother was cleaning up in the kitchen, so she didn't see what was going on at the time. But sadly, she came out just in time for me to spray her with the dry that I had gotten. Now, at first, you need to think that that was a forgivable mistake, in which, yes, it was. But she wasn't happy about what I did to the walls and told me, you're going to clean up all this cast if it takes you all day or it takes you your whole life. And sadly, I took that to heart. I cleaned up everything there was. But I got an hate towards Cast because Cast was made me happy. And now I had to clean it up. So now I had a hatred towards it. What did I do? I packed up all my Cast tools. Either I threw them out, I packed them up, or I gave them away, or whatever I did with them. And I wanted nothing to do with Cast anymore. And I spent all my years coming up with ways to take Cast out of the world. And then when I left Earth, because we all know that's most likely where I came from, I came to Rainbow Land. By that time, it had been taken over by the King of Shadows. And he hired me to be his first Wicker and keep Cast Light and Brightness out of it. And I didn't mind doing that. Not at all, sadly. And after Rainbow Bright showed up, after Wisp showed up, and after she freed all the Cast kids, and after she beat the King of Shadows, I spent 40 or 41 years coming up with sundry goals to take the Cast and Light and Brightness out, not only out of Rainbow Land, but from the earth and from all worlds, because that's just how much hate I had for it. And a lot of folks would say, well, how did I overcome my hate of Cast? Well, it wasn't smooth, put it that way. And it's just one day there was a fire at my house, and Rainbow Bright and Twink and Starlight, they came to help us. Even though they didn't really have to, they did. And Rainbow Bright said she forgave me for everything I did. And I said that was the most, and she said there had to be some good in me. And she forgave me for my wrongs. And I was so happy about that she was willing to forgive me for all those things. And I had been mean to her for 40 or 41 years. Oh yeah, well don't forget, Lurky, you started to like Cast Light and Brightness again. Your first thing you drew was an apple, but it didn't come out right and you guilted it on the chalk. But then when I stopped to think of it, it was all of those 40 years, all those 40 or 41 years of you wanting to take the Cast and Light and Brightness out of the world due to you misunderstanding what your mother meant that day. She was irked and angered over it, but I don't think she meant you to spend your whole life to take cast and light and brightness out of the world. And I'm sorry that all that happened, and was really bad. Me? I really did I like cast light and brightness. And then I got scathed for many years for liking it. And then I also wear shoes that I never knew how to bind in those 41 years or so. Yeah, I know, Lurky. And I'm sorry for all the times that I wasn't a kind enough friend to you. All the times that I yelled at you or called you names or scathed you for liking cast light and brightness when I at one time had a hatred towards it. Well, okay, yeah, I forgive you for that, Lurky. And tell me, what do you think about the Purple Pie Man? The Purple Pie Man, huh? The Purple Cake Man. Tell me, Lurky, why would you bring him up for? Because I already gave my thoughts on him. I brought him up because he seems to have a hatred towards anyone who knows how to cook good, snacks and sweets. And you said that growing up he was your friend in the neighborhood, and you said you both had a falling out once you both stepped out of High Learn, and you and him had this rile once about, more than once about who did the more evil things. So I thought maybe you should talk about him. Yeah, Lurky, my hatred of cast and light and brightness really had nothing to do with whatever his thing was. The unlikeness between me and him is that when I meant to shift, I meant to shift, where he never did. And I don't see how talking about him had anything to do with my thing. Yes, it's true, me and Purple, I don't even know what his first name was, but I could tell you it wasn't Purple. Yes, we grew up in the same neighborhood. We were friends. We went to learn together. Then we had a falling out due to our goals. His goal was to be the greatest cooker there was and make all of these sweets and snacks, and he never put any thought or time into them, so they never came out well. And then he spent all of his years being angry at Strawberry Shortcake and all of, for her taking the time to make her snacks and sweets right. But then again, I spent my years hating cast light and brightness and being angry at Rainbow Bright for bringing cast light and brightness to a world when, due to a misunderstanding with what my mother told me one day, I took it all the wrong way. So yeah, me and him might be a little the same in some ways, but we're unlike when it comes to what our thing was. Yeah. Hey, how far do you think we'll get? And don't be shooting that far up to me. Oh, I got a big nose. Yeah, that's okay, whatever. All right, let's end this film now.